Hi, everybody. Thanks for being on the call. My name is Kara Blattman-Rock. I'm the founder of doTERRA in Israel, and I'm an occupational therapist and a essential oil educator, and also specialize in Ayurvedic medicine. And I am joined by my friend and colleague, Chana Frazin. She's a certified aromatherapist and also the owner and founder of an oilforme.com. She's a mom of 4, I'm a mom of 4, and this is a topic that we both deal with personally. The ADHD solution, whether it's for our kids or for us as adults, because like this is just an emotional roller coaster, fun and interesting and not sure what's happening kind of time. So I think this conversation will be good for our kids and for the adults in our lives or for ourselves. And thanks for being on. If you can, I know for the Israelis on the call, it's late at night and you might be around sleeping ones, but if you can share your video, it makes it feel more of like a discussion in a community. If you can't, don't feel pressure, don't do it. And then we'll answer questions as we go in the chats, and we're going to just tag team. I really feel that Chana is a little bit more of the professional when it comes to this topic, because you have a lot of experience and do a lot of blends with this. But so I'm going to refer to you a lot, but I have a few of my own little tricks in my bag. So Chana, anything you'd like to say before we get started?
Sure. Well, let's just go over the basics of the 3 ways to use essential oils, right, for anyone who hasn't joined us before. So the 3 ways are aromatically, right, smelling them. We love to put them in our hands, rub it together, have what I like to call an aroma moment, stick some lemon in my hands and smell it and reset, or in a diffuser. You can see my diffuser back there. It's blending in, it's white. So diffusing, putting the oils in the air, taking them in aromatically, that's the first way. Topically, being a massage, applying, who doesn't like a massage, get some on your shoulders, anywhere really, that's a topical application. And the third way is to take them internally. Some people do, some people don't. I'm personally been having a little bit of a sugar craving lately, so I have some Smart and Sassy in my warm water right now, and I love it.
Nice.
I love it. I love it. So that's the internal use. You can also put them in a capsule. You can put them in your food. In the winter, it's nice to put some immune boosting oils in your salad dressing or something and kind of sneak it in for the family. It's a little trick. So those are the 3 ways. And tonight, we're probably mainly focusing tonight on topical use and diffusing. Diffusing is a great way to set the stage when studying or doing schoolwork. Or any kind of work we're preparing for an essential oil presentation. Diffusing is great.
Yeah. And I have a few remedies for internal, but we'll talk about that. But so that leads me, like your last way of talking about internal use, and really all 3 leads me into another important factor about doTERRA that we like to share with people, to remind people that are already using their products, but also to introduce to new people what is our certified pure tested grade oils, which all of the essential oils around the world, there's many products out there with essential oils and many different brands and companies of essential oils. I understand more and more coming to Israel specifically. And so what really makes doTERRA different as they're certified pure tested grade essential oils, so that they're safe for internal use, safe for topical use, and safe for aromatic use. And also, most importantly, that or equally important, is that they're being tested for their potency and their purity and their potency. So oftentimes we are really focused on purity because we don't want to ingest or take in artificial products that could be damaging or to our nervous system and into our physiological systems. But purity is really important when you're looking, or potency is really important when you're looking at effectiveness. Like, are these remedies gonna really work? Can I really try an ADD solution drug-free? You know, this is a book that I like. It's not about essential oils, but it's food-based. But can I really work with essential oils with my kids or myself and skirt the idea? Because most people's solution in the systems, in the school systems specifically, is drug-based solutions. So can essential oils be as effective as a drug-based solution? And I say absolutely yes. I feel like it's more, can be more effective if done correctly, and with the type of essential oils that's pure and potent. Most importantly, is if it's potent, it's gonna be more effective than a drug-based solution. And that's why we're here tonight to talk about that. So
Right. I
you
want to
wanna
tag on
this?
this drug comment and just say, because one of the things that aromatherapy is complementary medicine. So it complements many other types of solutions. So if people, we're not saying whoever
Don't
needs to
do.
use medication, use medication. Do what you need to do. Being a parent is hard enough. But there are those times before the meds kick in and after the meds wear off that can be extremely challenging. So I have helped people to use essential oils for after the meds wear off in the afternoon, which tends to be right before dinner time. A child could be starving because they haven't eaten for several hours, certainly haven't eaten very much. And essential oils can really smooth that transition. And it's a really great way to also use them that way. So they can also be a complementary medicine and can really use with pretty much almost anything else that's going on in your life. You can always add oils.
Yes. Amen. Okay, so do you want to get started? You
Sure.
start.
I'll start. So I want to talk about lemon oil, because lemon essential oil is simple and effective and awesome, and I think was my best friend today. Lemon is great to diffuse. Lemon is great to apply topically. Lemon is great to take internally in a capsule or in your water. It is great. It is known as the oil of focus. So I love that it's one of like the most simple oils, the most basic oils. Everybody knows what a lemon is. And the lemon oil comes from the rind of the lemon, right? Sometimes you'll get a recipe for like that lemon zest. And when you're scraping the lemon peel, that's what you're using in the recipe, and you smell it. That's where the essential oil is found. It's in the peel. So that's really awesome. And that's how we can get the essential oil. When you cut a lemon, squeeze a lemon into a salad, put like lemon in your water, you're getting the fruit, which is also fabulous and has vitamins and different things. But the only way to get the essential oil is to use from the peel. That's where the essential oils are. And it is great for focus, for, it's known for like completing projects. So I'm going to be using a lot of lemon over the next few months and see what can happen with this. And it's also very cleansing. So it's great to diffuse in the air for like clear thinking, clear away what was there, whether it's that you burnt some popcorn on the stove and you need to clear that smell, right? Because it's like, I don't want to think about that smell anymore. I want to clear that. So lemon is clarifying and cleansing, and it's amazing. It's great for cleansing our organs, which is a great reason to take it internally, drink it in your water in the morning. Everyone should have lemon oil. It's just really that kind of oil. But I will say, even though it's winter, it is photosensitive. So don't apply it to your face or to skin that would be directly exposed to the sun. Probably a little easier to avoid that at this time of year. But, you know, winter is just around the corner. So it's a sweet smell. It's uplifting. It's energizing. And one of the things I love about lemon also is that because it's familiar to people, kids really love lemon. I've really never met a person who doesn't smell the lemon oil and say, Oh, I have some more. Oh, I like that. Lemon, it's a people pleaser, which is a great reason to use it on kids. So this is a great one to use on your kids before school, anyone with focus problems. And a great way to apply essential oils for focus is the big toes, the bottom of the big toes. That's our brain center. And it's great. Just make it part of the morning routine. Put some lemon on their big toe, put on the socks, off they go. It's a really great way to do the lemon.
Awesome. Lemon, my little 2 cents about lemon is that all my kids go they all take, a water bottle to school. And so I put a drop of lemon in every one of their water bottles. One, it's clearly for this reason, its ability to help with focus. And two, it's also, it's good for keeping the water clean, and refreshing and taste good. So it has multiple purposes, but the main reason why I put the lemon in the water is because they think it's because it tastes good, but I'm doing it for focus. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Um,
Little mama
so
hacks there.
yeah. So then the next, so we'll just kind of round robin and each take our turn. So I had, this is a personal story this year, and I'm pretty sure people will probably be able to relate to the story. So we moved from Israel back to the United States, and the kids really started school for the first time this year. And it's sporadic, as we all know. Sometimes they're there, sometimes they're not, because of the current state of affairs in all of the world. And my 10-year-old boy, the teachers were gathering us, his parents and him and the administrative, to say that he has ADD or ADHD, and they're seeing these kinds of symptoms in the classroom. And they really wanted us to get him tested and possibly look into medication for his attention deficit. And this was a first for us because we hadn't seen that in him growing up, but he's always been a little bit of a nervous guy. And with this year, the pandemic, last 2 years of pandemic, and him returning to school in a new country, his anxiety really went up and his nervousness really went up. And it was being seen as ADD. And maybe he has a little bit, but it's never affected his attention. And then with the anxiety going up and the attention going up, then it really got affected. So just for those of you out there, it's sometimes good to identify, like, this is a conversation about not just ADD and ADHD, but just your nervous system and helping it to stay in balance when it comes to that too. And so I wanted to try going down the route of using our essential oils and the products that we have at hand. And so every morning he takes 1 pill of the copaiba. Is that available now in Israel?
Not as pills, no.
Okay,
Only
so
oil.
but before we had the pills, he was just doing a drop or 2 of the oil under his tongue before he went to school. And then adaptive, which I know is in Israel, he is doing 1 pill of the adaptive, and then he's doing the On Guard beadlets, which I don't have here. And then the oil that I'm going to talk about is In Tune, and we swipe it across his neck and then down his spine. And and then on the way to the school, we have a conversation about positive mindset, letting go of worry, and focusing on what is occurring at school. Like, we drop him off, his teachers are taking care of him. We pick him up at the same time every day, and remember repeating the history that he has of being safe. And we've seen, and the teachers have seen, a huge improvement in dropping down his anxiety and his nervousness, and therefore contributing to greater attention. So our routine every day is lemon oil in the water. He takes a copaiba pill in the morning, or originally it was just 2 drops under his tongue, and an adaptive pill in the morning. And so copaiba is like, maybe you have a lot of knowledge around the copaiba oil and the copaiba pill in its relation to the nervous system and emotions. And can you share with us a little bit about copaiba, Hannah?
Sure. So copaiba is great for the nervous system. It's actually a cannabinoid oil, meaning that it works on all the cannabinoid systems in the body. It is not psychoactive. It has no psychoactive effects. But if you Google copaiba, probably the first and second and third thing you will get is copaiba versus CBD oil. So there's no THC. It's not from the hemp plant. Copaiba is a tree, and that's where copaiba oil comes from. But it's so amazing and calming on the nervous system, on all these different systems in the body, that it's often compared to CBD oil, which, you know, if you look it up, it's good for everything. So, but copaiba is legal and easy to get, and no side effects, no psychoactive effects. So we love it. It's great. I have someone on my team that she worked with a child. She was like a mitapela, a helper for someone who was having seizures. And every time he had a seizure, she would give him copaiba, and he would stop having seizures. And eventually, like, he was seizing every like 15 minutes. It was a horrific situation, and it really went down tremendously throughout the day. Copaiba is great. It's great for everything. It's one of those oils like frankincense that just add copaiba and it will help and pass more quickly. And copaiba is
And
great
so
for
then the
everyone.
adaptive, I mean, he's taking the pill form of the adaptive, but I could just read the ingredients easier on the adaptive oil. And it's wild orange, lavender, copaiba, spearmint, magnolia, rosemary, and neroli, and sweet gum resin. So an adaptive is, I see that it could be helpful for ADD, ADHD. It definitely is helpful for if the ADD or ADHD is getting triggered and exasperated by nervousness and anxiety, because the adaptive helps to bring that down. Wild orange is, you know, it has kind of this neutralizing ability with the nervous system. So it kind of can work in either direction, helping to bring you down or help bringing you up. But it's more of what I feel like it's a neutralizing oil. So it helps to neutralize it, worries and anxiety. Lavender, as we know, is a calmative, you know, it's calming, and it actually helps the body to release serotonin, which is a natural neurotransmitter that helps you to feel in this calm and restful and not the fight or flight state. And then the copaiba, as we talked about, is in here. And then I couldn't tell you why spearmint is in here, maybe. And then magnolia, it's a flower, so it's also similar to lavender in that it's calming, it's serotonin releasing, so is neroli. Rosemary specifically is also a good oil for focus. So like you could see how that oil is that the adaptive is kind of both an anxiety releasing, a balancing of emotions, and a focus. I really like the adaptive. It's a strong part of our family.
Right. And it's called adaptive because it helps us adapt to all these different things going on, which often is a big problem with, we're just using the word ADD to just keep it simple. We're talking about all kinds of focus issues. We're just putting it under one umbrella tonight because it's shorter to just say that. Yeah. So adaptive is great for all of those things that could be going on and triggering. They could be triggering. And like you were saying about your son, about the anxiousness, and that's why there's a lot of research that says essential oils are good and helpful for ADHD because they help calm the nervous system, because they help ease anxiety and tension, which is often, if you're nervous, you're certainly not going to focus in class or focus on what you actually have to do. So,
right. And it was interesting to say that to the professionals. I was like, okay, I can see how you see that he's distracted, and like it's like kind of your go-to that it's ADD or ADHD, but like he has clear anxiety and nervousness right now. And I don't think it's abnormal, being that we're in a pandemic, and he's just returning to school after being out for a year and a half. So like,
Right.
so let's like address this first. And they do see a difference, and we're not, we're not using, this is what we're using right now to handle it. And I feel 100% certain that it's related to supplementing with these products.
Mhm.
So
Great.
next, what do we have on our list, Miss Hannah?
Thinker. Let's
Oh,
talk about
yeah.
Thinker. Thinker is part of the kids collection. I have to say, I love these. I love the kids collection.
Me too.
I often find myself opening them and adding more things to them because they're so gentle, so everyone can use them, and I'm less gentle. So I often open them and add more things to them. But then sometimes, like, my kids don't naturally, I don't want to send my kids to school smelling the way I would make them smell necessarily. So just sticking to the basics for going to school is great. So Thinker has a few of the oils we've talked about. It has, we didn't talk about peppermint. So it's peppermint, vetiver, clementine, and rosemary. Rosemary is great for recall, right? For memory and recall. So Thinker is a great one to put on when they're home and they're studying and they're doing homework or trying to learn something, and then give them some to take to school or to put on before school, smell their wrists, wear a diffuser bracelet and smell their diffuser bracelets before a test. And rosemary is great for that recall. It's like, oh yeah, we did that. We all know that smell is very connected to memory. So rosemary in particular is that learning memory oil. And rosemary is also connected with the crown chakra. So sometimes, which is like a good visual with ADD, that you have someone who's like flighty and like never in their seat and flitting about and all over the place, and putting some rosemary on the head helps to bring that person down and be like, okay, you're here now. This is this world, and this is your mission here. Sit down, calm down, breathe. So rosemary is really great for that, to help us remember our purpose in this world and what we're doing here, maybe what we're doing sitting in that classroom or wherever it is, maybe sitting at work. So that's rosemary, which is one of the oils in Thinker. Vetiver, I'll just like talk about all the 4 oils that are in Thinker right now, and then you can chime in when you want. Vetiver is does not smell like roses, right? Be careful. Don't put vetiver in a diffuser. That's like my big warning sign on vetiver. It doesn't smell great. It's really strong. It's amazing. It's thick. It is from the roots of the vetiver plant, and it is super grounding, just like where it is sourced from the roots deep in the ground. And 1 drop, that is all you need. And it is like for total focus, calming, very calming. Vetiver and lavender make a beautiful sleep blend together on the bottoms of your feet. If you're feeling all over the place, put some vetiver on your feet at any time, and will really help ground you. So I love that it's in Thinker, and I love that it's not overdone in Thinker. So this is a very wearable focus blend. It's one of the things I really like about it. Another oil in Thinker is peppermint, which is a great oil for focus, and it's much more of an uplifting, it's like arousing energy. So you get that like arousal to alertness. Often, my son, you ask your kid, like, what did you do in school today? Nothing. Like everything's like nothing. I just could imagine him sitting there like not paying attention to anything, not being interested in anything. It's like, wow, I wish I could just come spray some peppermint on you in class sometime, because you would love school then. So that's the energy of peppermint. It's like buoyant and fun and youthful. It's really great, and it's a definite wake up. So you don't want to be using this right before bed, but I
And that's
sometimes
just
on
straight
my,
peppermint, and it's in the thinker.
yeah, in the
Mhm.
thinker, yeah, this is just straight, which sometimes, often when I'm like driving home from far away, I'll wipe it on my steering wheel.
Yeah.
Start to drive home. It's a good
Yeah, so
one.
I love the beadlets, the
Mm,
peppermint beadlets, and I send it. My daughter also is kind of on the edge of she actually has the diagnosis of ADD. My oldest daughter Sophia, and she takes this with her to school. And so ever I would tell her whenever she feels like out of focus or distracted, just pop one of these in her mouth, pop it on her tongue, and she loves it. She asked for me to get her the peppermint beadlets, and she just has it in her backpack and takes it with her to school and takes it. And then it's also like, it has multi-purpose as all these oils do. So it's
right.
freshening for her mouth after she
Mhm.
eats, or because she's having to wear a mask all day. It helps to keep her mouth fresh.
Nice.
Yeah, so peppermint. I love the beadlets. I'm a big, big, big
Mhm.
fan of the peppermint beadlets.
Those are fun. So the last oil in thinker is clementine, which
Mm,
is
so
just
sweet.
sweet. Yeah, it's sweet. Adds that like uplifting, sweet, familiar aroma, and it kind of like brings it all together, right? Because it's like very, we have rosemary that's very herbaceous, and vetiver is very deep, and the peppermint is very high and energizing. So when clementine is like right in the middle, just kind of like bringing everyone together, like the gel. So it's a really well done blend. I really like it. I like it a lot. So my daughter actually even asked for this the other day, like, because again,
Wow.
that not in school, back in school, not in school, back in school. My kids are going back tomorrow for the first time in like 9 days. So they'll get oiled up tomorrow before school, that's for sure, for confidence and focus.
Thanks.
So yeah, so that's the thinker. I love that one. And then another one in the kids collection that is great for focus is Steady, the green one, the grounding blend, which it's just about like calming. It's a great one for ADD. So this one, in terms of being like a focus blend, for me, this one isn't strong enough to not strong enough in my house. So this is one I would definitely add stuff to, like cardamom and maybe some more vetiver. Like I don't use this as a focus blend per se, but for other people, this could be strong enough. It's certainly calming. And this one would be actually great in the afternoon. Like when I was talking about using the oils, when the medicine wears off, if you need something to take that edge off. This Steady is like gentle. It's not going to put anyone to sleep. It definitely calms people down. And you can put this right at the base of the skull. That's a great spot. There's a little niche right there at the base of the skull, and that point goes directly to your brain and is wonderful. That's a great one, the Steady blend.
Right. And so that brings like to its equivalent, maybe. I don't even know if I'd say it's stronger though, but it was like the original kind of balancing brand is Balance.
Mhm.
Um, it's quite different than the Steady.
Yeah, yeah. I would
Uh,
say Balance is definitely stronger. It's stronger.
yeah.
It's more potent. There's way more essential oil in that than these are diluted to be super safe for kids.
Hmm.
They made them for kids, colored caps, little hooks, so everyone could be like, oh, it's mine, it's mine. And then no one has to worry that they're wiping it all over their face. They're highly diluted and not going to hurt anyone.
Right. So I saw somebody at the one of my doTERRA wellness advocates here in America. She puts a little tiny spray top on it, and she takes it with her and she sprays the Balance on her
Nice.
throughout the day. I was like, that is such a good idea. And she's like, I'm teaching you something. I was like, yes, that is such a great idea. I
That
still
is.
haven't gotten one yet because you have to buy them specifically or cut, get them where they're the right. You have to cut the bottom so they
They're
fit
super
properly.
easy on Amazon. It says that it fits your 15 ml doTERRA bottles. I got them recently.
Okay, because it's such a great idea. Because Balance, like for us adults, like it might be a little strong for our little ones, but like for your teenagers or your preteens, and for us as adults, I feel like just a spray of balance midday or at any point in your day that you're feeling out of balance emotionally or mentally or focus wise, like just spraying on the balance. It's one that it's one of my go-tos. I carry, like, my bag that I carry with me everywhere has balance in it and adaptive in it. And so I should put a little spray on my back. Well, they have the adaptive spray, but I prefer the oil over the spray. And then my other go-to is always, my Intune is on my desk. I always have Intune because I love Intune, and I put it on the back of my neck before I go pick up the kids, because I just get multitasked when it's time to get the kids. And so that level of stimulation makes me grumpy and reactive. So the Intune helps me to not be grumpy, to handle the multiple stimulation that comes from raising 4 kids, and then not being reactive, because I'm always like praying, like, I want to have more joy with my kids. I want to laugh more with my kids. And so I feel like the Intune helps me to be more in that state. And so Intune's been around for a long time, since the beginning of doTERRA, really. And it's sandalwood, well, not the beginning of doTERRA, but it's one of their older oils. It's I remember when it came out. So it's 2 versions of sandalwood, Hawaiian sandalwood and West Indian sandalwood, which is my favorite. Patchouli, frankincense, lime, ylang-ylang, and chamomile. So, like, not only is it a focusing blend, but it smells darn good. Like, it's a perfume. Whenever I wear it, back when I was in Israel, I'd put it on when I'd go get the kids. And as soon as I was walking to the Makolet, people would be like, oh, that smells so good. Is Kara in here? It's either Kara or Shira. So I love the Intune, and the kit, and this is the one that I use pretty regularly on my son. It works well for him.
Awesome.
So next oil, girl.
I just want to make one suggestion for your Intune, since I know you love your sandalwood so much, and since you're using that to like be this loving, centered mom for your kids, I'd say put some on your heart before you go pick them up also.
I'm gonna put some right now, and I'm gonna repeat it.
Oh, right, because you have to go get them.
Well, not yet. Now they're in, my little one's in school now till 2:30, so I have more time. Yeah,
that's exciting. Cool. That's awesome. Okay, so the last one we're going to talk about that I have for tonight is bergamot. I love bergamot. Bergamot is awesome. Also like lemon, but it's like a fancy lemon. It's a hybrid lemon. And this is also great for females, multitaskers, entrepreneurs. This is like the boss babe oil, bergamot. It's great for self-confidence, which is important for our focus. One of those, like, I'm not feeling great about myself, I can't do this. You diffuse your bergamot and some lemon and some peppermint, and you're good to go. This is the most photosensitive oil, so I'd say don't put this on your face, like, ever. But definitely diffuse it, put it on your pulse points on your wrists, like a perfume, and definitely put it on your heart space. Bergamot is amazing to get focused and help get the task done. And I will say with all of these oils that one of the things I find really powerful is because they all have like their personalities and their tasks and the things that they help us with, like to just focus for a minute when you're putting it on and like draw down the intention that you want to set, that I'm using this oil because I want to have more focus, I want to get clear, whatever it is, whichever the oil is. But always like to set some intention and smell it, take a moment to smell it and take in that energy, because they're working because of their chemical composition. So take a moment to really do it. Put it in your hands, and smell it and sit there and let the chemical messengers travel right through your olfactory system, right to the limbic part of your brain. And that's where they're doing the work. And when you're using pure oils, they are doing the work. So we have to take the time to use them and to give them some attention. It's part of our self-care routine is to use our oils. So give yourself a moment to slow down and focus. And I agree that a big part of the problem is multitasking. And I think it was like a big thing in the 80s. And I think it's totally passé now. And we need to focus on one thing at a time.
Right.
So,
unless you're a mom of 4 or 5, then it's like,
but even
you
so,
have
like
no
we have
choice.
to, yeah. But there's like, you know, take the moment, which I think actually lemon, that's
Yeah.
like part of lemon's role is like clarity in like in simplifying things. So lemon helps us to like either break it apart, but like somehow to see piece by piece what needs to happen. So I expect you all to be using lots of lemon tomorrow.
Yes.
That's the vibe of the day.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So that was a great 40 minutes of some of the remedies that we're using in our homes for emotional balance for us and our kids, whether it's ADD, ADHD, or just, you know, just emotions being passionate and full because of this year, and just taking the time to take care of our emotional body and our nervous systems with these plant-based remedies, because we 100% know that they're effective when they're used consistently and with consciousness and thoughtfulness, like Hannah said. We can take a few minutes. Do you have any other oils you want to introduce, Hannah, before we open it up for questions?
I'm good.
Okay. I found that ending a call with questions always kind of seems to be a bit of a flop. So I wanted to change it a little bit and say, if anybody wants to share the oil that they have currently been using in their life that they feel helps them with focus or emotional balance, or along the same lines of this topic today. Because we're always wanting to hear other people's remedies and the other oils. And it could be one of the oils we've introduced today. That's okay to just affirm its power, or if it's something that we didn't talk about and you want to include it. So if you can just use audio if you want, you can send it in the chat if just writing it out feels better. Or so Amalia said that she feels so blessed and to be tuned in today is what she said. So I actually thought you were sharing that in tune, you little cutie. Ahuva said that lavender and nutmeg and geranium. Wow. If you feel like unmuting yourself, that'd be awesome to hear about your nutmeg story. But I think I've heard that about nutmeg, but I don't use much nutmeg. Do you put those 3 together?
I remember using nutmeg. I can't remember if it was with fennel and geranium. I have to go look up my recipe because I've been making some new recipes lately. But I found it really helped me with like adrenal stress. That was where I, what I was using it for, like, because I felt like that was something that I could really take advantage of. So I remember using that and I felt like it was really calming and, de-stressing. So yeah.
Nice. Yeah, nutmeg. And there's Nahama said neroli. I love neroli. I have it, but I just I'm not using it. I feel like I don't know how to use neroli. Like, Nahama, if you wanted to unmute yourself or type something about that, I would love to hear your neroli story.
Hi, I unmuted myself.
Good.
Sorry, I can't be on video right now. Neroli is just amazing for calming down when you're anxious or nervous about something. It's classic for centuries, used for old ladies, but I find it's good for everybody. Any stress, just put it on the back of your neck and on your neck and instant calm.
Nice, because I have it in my bathroom because I know it's good for skincare too. So every once in a while I'll roll it on my face, I'm not that consistent with it, but I mean, it's such a beautiful origin. Like it's the wild, it's the orange, it comes from the blossoms of the orange tree. Like that's amazing. Like,
Right. It's great for hormone balancing and an aphrodisiac. It's a great female,
Yeah.
great for women to have on hand.
I'm just gonna stop recording because sometimes the questions get a little muddly. Thank you everybody for being on. Please stay on for more questions and answers. I'm gonna stop the recording so you guys all have a lovely video to watch and share with others. See you next week.